Thank you for joining today's webinar on sales tax issues for software and cloud finance executives. My name is Diane with Armanino McKenna, and I will be your moderator. Before I introduce our presenter, I'd like to cover a few housekeeping tips. Today's session will be recorded and all phone lines are muted to ensure quality and courtesy to our presenter and our participants. First, let's review your webinar pane. At the top right, you'll see a yellow arrow. Click the arrow to expand the webinar pane to adjust your audio, or enter a question via the question feature located at the bottom left of this webinar pane. Throughout this webinar, we'll encourage you to type in your questions that our presenter will answer at the end of the presentation. To adjust your audio, you may select either to listen through your telephone, or you may select the mic and use speaker mode to listen through your computer. We are offering CPE for today's webinar, and to qualify for California CE, you must be using a personal computer, no PDAs, and log in with your own information and unique URL. Be logged into our online software for at least 50 consecutive minutes within the scheduled time frame of this webinar. Actively respond to at least 75% of the polling questions and complete an evaluation survey at the end of the webinar. So let's get started. Please join me in welcoming our presenter, Mr. Malcolm Ellerby. Malcolm is a partner at Armanino McKenna. He has more than 20 years of public accounting experience, including 15 years with Big Four accounting firms. His primary focus is assisting software company and cloud service providers in evaluating multi-state sales use tax to their business models. Malcolm's technology client base, although concentrated in Silicon Valley, extends to technology centers nationwide. Malcolm, it is great to have you with us today. So, well, before we get started, let's review today's learning objectives. Participants will evaluate whether their products and services may be subject to sales use tax in various states. We will explore the financial statement impact of potential prior period liabilities and formulate a game plan for sales use tax compliance appropriate for a company's life cycle. So I was going to review the agenda, but Malcolm, I thought it would be great to let you go ahead and review the agenda with our participants.
Thanks, Diane. We're going to start by at least touching on the evolution of sales and use taxation of the cloud and software models and SaaS models and platform as a service models, and I mean we could spend a 2-hour webinar just on this one section, but we'll at least get an overview of the evolution in taxation in the cloud area, and then move on to, I think, what's probably of a great concern to many of our clients, which is the financial reporting impact of potential prior period liabilities, and then wrap up with trying to address things going forward as far as ongoing compliance and developing a game plan once you've addressed the prior period exposures, how to kind of get things in order going forward.
Great. I look forward to diving in. Oh, well, look, we have our first polling question. So our first polling question, which statement most closely describes your current sales use tax posture? Well, I already see some of you are starting to answer. Just remember, you need to answer at least 75% of our polling questions to qualify for CE. Great. Right, I see a lot more answers coming in. We're getting ready to close the polls, so quickly get your answers in. Great. All right. Pretty soon, I think Malcolm will review the responses.
Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, I'm surprised only 5% are sell software via tangible media. There's still a lot of on-premise software companies out there that sell with CD-ROMs, but not so much anymore, and most of them are moving to cloud models just because their clients are demanding it.
Yeah.
30% sell via download. That's still very common. And then it looks like a third host software, and I'm a little surprised that in this audience we have a third that are pure cloud services. I'm always curious how people define that, and again, we could speak for hours on it, which we won't, on what the cloud is and what those companies do. So that's interesting. I'm glad we have a diversity of